Want to use the secret wind zoom arrow? Want to know how to use iOS grids? Want to get the drop on your opponents? Let me show you how to do it. Baby, baby, baby!
Albatross!
Okay, guys, we are doing a follow-up video on the original video that I did for grids for iOS, right? So this is an iPad. I'm using an iPad, and I have the grids enabled, and I also have the wind arrow enabled, right? And I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, so in settings, I'm going to turn all this off first, right? I'm going to go to accessibilities. I'm going to turn the grids off, which is under voice control. I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to go back to accessibilities. I'm going to go ahead and turn the zoom off, right? So this is what you're going to be presented with, right? Just a fresh slate. What you're going to want to do is you're going to go to settings. First things first, accessibilities, which is right up underneath the home screen and dock right above wallpaper. Touch the accessibilities. To the right, on down underneath physical and motor control, you're going to have voice control. If you want to have grids and only grids, voice control is the only thing that you want to worry about. You're going to tap voice control and you're going to enable voice control, right? Sometimes your grids will go ahead and pop up. If your grids don't pop up, what you're going to do is you're going to hit the bottom button that says overlay. And you're going to change this to numbered grid. It may say none, it may say item numbers, it may item names, it may say numbered grid, whatever. I keep my dimmed opacity at 90. I keep my automatic dimming off. I do prefer to have 5 rows and 2 columns. That way I have a center line, and I have a line to push rings, and I have a line to pull rings. That's a personal preference. I have seen people playing with 4 and 2. I mean, I've seen people play with that many lines before. So it's really a personal preference on what you want to see while you're playing. I can handle 5 without it being an issue. So let me show you what a golf class shot looks like utilizing the grids, right? So we're going to utilize the grids. Okay, I'm just going to go to a replay here. The very first replay that we have here on. This one says push rings. So I think this is a replay of us pushing the rings. So let's see how we could utilize these grids on the iOS device to push the rings to possibly get the albatross on this particular hole, which is a very difficult albatross to get, I might add. So here, we're spinning to the pin. We're utilizing all the side spin that we possibly can and some top spin to try to find this little mythical funnel that exists on this hole or sticky spot, whatever. We are trying to find it here. Because the trees are directly behind the way the wind's blowing, we do have to push our rings. So here I do believe that we push somewhere in the neighborhood of 9-ish rings or something like that, maybe 1 to 1. But you see how the center line makes it easier for you to push the amount of rings that you need to push? Now the way that I know how to pull the amount of rings is that I have an application called Golf Clash Caddy. Or notebook, right? So I have an application running on the side that shows me the wind. So I get the wind, I put the wind value in, and then I pull my rings based on my grids. The grids help me to pull rings. That's all they do. And it also helps you to see, like if you're following a guide and you're looking at wind angle tweaks, you want to see what's in the back. Like if there was a wind angle tweak on this shot right here, it would be as we turned our camera screen and the wind was facing south, there would be some type of marker to look for. Which color tree are you? There's always going to be like a marker in the background that you're looking at. That center line can help you look into the background to see where you're pulling. Like if this is where we're pulling, we could use that golf clash sign there in the foreground right there as a reference, right? But here we're pushing our rings, so we could use the gap in the trees as a reference. We could use the tree trunk as a reference. We could use the green tree as a reference. We could use the brown tree as a reference. And your center line is going to help you do that. The center line is going to help you pull straight. It's going to help you push straight. It's not going to help you hit perfect, right? So grids are only going to give you the advantage of being able to pull a little bit straighter and a little bit more accurate. That is the only advantage that grids do give you. Bam. Boom. Now, let's go on to something a little bit more advanced, and let's talk about the zoom settings. The zoom settings. First, you're going to go into the settings. Then you're going to go into the accessibility settings. You want to go over to the zoom, right? You want to turn the zoom on, right? My zoom level is 2.8. You can increase or decrease your zoom level. You can move your zoom all around wherever you want to. You just touch it and move it. I'm not going to do it right this moment, but I'm going to show you in just a minute. You can also have a controller if you want. You can turn the controller on. The controller appears right here to the right, and then you can control your I don't like the controller. I would not suggest using the controller. If you're going to use the zoom window, just leave it as is. I'm sure there's other people that you can ask that know more about it, but this is just the basic way of getting grids and a zoom on a basic iPad. All right, I'm using an iPad Air iPad Air 3 8 Gen, right? Okay, so now we have our idle opacity is right around 50, right? Okay, and then let's see, triple tap, zoom out. Nothing happens on triple tap. Let's see, single tap, show menu. Nothing happens on single tap, and double tap. So double tap seems to, let's go back to accessibilities. Let's go to zoom, and double tap is going to do nothing. So we have the zoom right here. Keep the allow focus off. You don't want to have that focus. So these are the settings you want to have right here. So again, for the grids, here we go. Accessibilities, voice control. Now, if you want to take a screenshot of these settings, there you go. There's my grid. Take a screenshot of those settings. There you go. Now let's go back to accessibilities. Let's go to zoom. Let's take a screenshot of those settings. There you go. Now let's take a look at everything in action. This is also a tough albatross, right? But using our wind app and our wind magnifying tool and our grids should make this albie pretty damn easy, right? So what we're looking for is to have the center of that point of the arrow to be right in between the I and the N, right? We want to see that thing flickering between the I and the N, which is right there. You can see it, right? W-I-N. So when we go to pull, we're going to be able to see those micro adjustments. So like right now, that looks like if I pulled right now, that'd be an 1159, right? That looks like I'm moving it towards 1201 right now. That seems to be a straight pull. Looks to me to be a straight pull, maybe favoring just a slight 1159, if anything. The wind arrow is never static, so it's never going to be a truly straight pull. If that makes sense. Perfect shot away. We do bounce into the rough where we're aiming, and we smack that pin dead mother freaking nuts. I hope this video helped you. If it did, I hope you hit a like, give me a subscribe if you haven't, and share the video with a friend. And if you need some more Golf Clash tips, tricks, tutorials, leave them in the comment section. Let me know what you'd like to see. I'd be happy to help you. My name is Jeffrey Sage. Thanks for watching.